Hey team, hope you're doing well. This all looks pretty good to me. I don't really have anything that I would change. There is just one thing that kind of came to mind when I was looking at this that I'm not sure I ever put in my. I mean, I did mention a little bit, but I don't know that I actually like spent that much time talking about it. And I was kind of thinking from a what makes us different standpoint. I think is this is something that maybe we could lean into. But basically, like, one of the things that I'm finding more and more, just like even over the last 30 days, is just how much I'm using AI to automate and actually just accomplish things that were literally impossible and would be impossible if it was just human led. And so let me give you an example of this. So today, um, I was working on like a pitch for a client. And, in the past, you put together these lists, which are called media lists, which is like, people in this sector talking about these types of things. And, you would get a list. And for example, the list might look like 36 contacts, 60 contacts, 17, something like that. Because, I mean, frankly, a lot of it too is like very manual. It would be like you'd be going through, you would do one of these searches, and then I would look at this person, I would browse it, I'd say, no, that's not a fit, I would uncheck them, and I would manually go through to try to find it. But the thing is, look how many people come up when you're doing something like this 524. So it's just an absolute bear to try to get to that 17 or 33 people. And of course, you could have like junior associates, like a larger agency doing this, but it's mind numbing work. You lose concentration after a while. Like, how many of these can you look at before you eventually just start to zone out? You're not doing a great job. And there's just so much noise here. It just forces you. This tool right here costs $5,000 a year. It's considered one of the best in the world. And it's still really not that good. It just captures everything, and you can't really get it to give you the thing that you want. You still have to go through and curate it. And so the problem with that is that, for example, one of my clients, they're putting out this report, but this report has like many different angles. Like, you're speaking to electrical people, plumbing people, HVAC people, construction tech people, AI people, uh, and then I think like maybe like building management people. And each one of those people care about different things, right? You can imagine a plumber doesn't care what an electrician, like, there's no angle that they overlap on. So then you start thinking about, okay, this is one list, this is 524 people, multiply that out, right? So for example, if you look at what the scale is on something like this, there was 524, 432, 454, 281, 263. I mean, what is this? This is, I mean, at minimum, like probably almost 3,000 people. Okay, and that's basically impossible for me to do that all day. I would be doing that, and it would be horrible, or I'd have to pay a bunch of people, or an agency would pay a bunch of people. So there's a real inefficiency. Basically, what happens is you just eventually say, you know what, I got some, it's good enough, we're going to go with that, we're going to go, and we're just going to send it. And the downside being that you don't actually capture everybody that could potentially be interested in a story, because the actual resources to do the thing is too taxing, right? However, one of the things, like, for example, that I just started doing today and that I'm going to start doing every single day is I'm using, like, AI continues to get better, and now they have these things called AI agents, which will basically go out and do research for you for 30 minutes, right, at a time. And I'm able to basically take this list, feed everything in that I need to about this report, context, so it's aware. It knows what story I'm trying to land. It knows the kinds of people that should be in a theoretical list, and it goes and it sorts that. It reads every single thing these people write. It looks on their social media. It sees what publication they're at. And then it whittles it down to like 30 people. And then from that 30 people, it does like a deeper research where then it will actually go through and then whittle it down to just like maybe like 12 people. And all that is happening in the background while I work. And ultimately, what something like you take that 3,000 people and then it spits me something out like this, which is like, okay, this is maybe 100 people with a reason for why they're a fit and like what angle we need to take in order to convert each one of these people. Perfect, good, or just a maybe, right? Like it's so contextually wonderful. And again, to get this took time, but I wasn't myself. It like the AI stuff freed my time up so that that could be operating in the background while I went and did something else for some other client, right? And then what I'm left with is not only better than what a human-led approach could be, it's beyond what humans could do. I mean, like, yes, you could theoretically get humans to do it, but you wouldn't because it's too expensive and it just wouldn't be done this way. So I'm looking at something that is probably 3 to 4 times more robust. And I can promise you this, none of my competitors are doing AI like this. Like this is cutting edge stuff that is rolling out daily. They're updating what new features can be. I'm embracing it. And I know that there's stuff in here in the Figma about like, you know, just the innovativeness of AI. I just want to see if we can play that up. That there's something in there about like an AI supercharged PR agency where it's, I don't know, there's something there that is literally the future. I think honestly the true future is that there won't be humans in the mix at all. Maybe someone will build a tool for that, but there may be humans in the loop for a long time, maybe 10, 15, 20 years. And for that next 20 years, we're going to own this. And I want to, this allows us, I think, to maybe overcome some of these anxieties which we have in here of like, you know, not having a large team. Well, if your team is like, you know, small, but it's actually far more effective than a team double or triple their size because of the tools they're using, what does size really matter? So I think there's something there in terms of, I think that more and more people are going to get on board with using AI agents in their work. And they're going to actually come to expect that the PR agency and actually any business partner they use is going to be embracing that kind of tool as well. And so I think like this is what also separates us from, you know, maybe potentially like what they're using today, and helps us with anxiety and helps us sort of like really, because everybody, I mean, to be honest, I'll just end it here. I think all of these things we do really well, like, and I mean that, you've captured it beautifully. But I'm going to say that, like, you know, other agencies might say, yeah, we're transparent, or yeah, we're productive. And I think like we have to like own those things because we really do that better than them. But I don't know that it differentiates us as much as like on an innovativeness side. I think, yeah, I don't want to like go all in on the AI thing. It's just one component, but I just don't think that compared to like all of the things here, I think it's like it's currently a very small piece, and I would want it to be heavily weighted versus maybe all of these things. Like I don't want AI to just be like a tiny thing that you will find among 10 other things. So yeah, just think about that, because hopefully the demonstration was extremely relevant. And then also, by the way, let me just take it one step further and just end with this. That I told you how I basically came up with this media list, right? It's impossible, came up with it, great. The next step is this. The old way of doing PR, and I'm talking stuff I did last week. I mean, like this is how rapid the change and the upgrades are to the technology that allow me to do things that I could not have done a week ago, and I'm already embracing it and doing it, where competitors don't even know you could do this, let alone they're going to be like years behind on actually embracing it. But basically, the old way of doing things was that you would have these buckets, right? You'd have like, I don't know, 12 people in the electrical bucket. And the old way of doing PR was, okay, well, we're going to create one pitch one, outreach email, and that's going to be the same templated email for all 12 people, right? And that would, get loaded up into kind of a mail merge or like, and instantly, and it would just go, send off and customize their name or their publication. And, it would generally do okay because, well, like it is going to be tailored to electrical and what electrical people care about. But I want to make the point that like, it's not perfect doing it that way because you have people who care about different things. Some people are editors, some people are publishers, some people are reporters, some people are just contributors. Some people are not writing at all, and they're just like, maybe they'd be willing to take an op-ed or an article and have you place content on their site, right? Like everybody's different. Also, like, where are they located? Like all the stuff that goes into why they're a fit, they're similar, but they're all a little bit different. And their pitch angles, you can see, are all different. So how am I going to give one pitch for all of these people when they all care about different things? The correct way to do it would be you research every person, you find out what they're interested in, you customize the email pitch with the things from the report that they would be interested in, and every single person gets a unique, personalized, customized email. In the real world, that's impossible. I can't do that. I can't sit here and do the research on 100 people to figure that out. I don't have time in the day to do that. And then how am I going to sit there and write up 100 emails that are all like perfect? I've got other clients to go see. I've got a million things to do. Impossible. And that's impossible for any agency until, like, I don't know, very, very recently. Now I have tools that are literally going off and, taking the contacts and creating these very in-depth research report on like, what have they covered? Oh, she's been doing this for 6 years in journalism. She continues to write about these things. This is what she's talking about on social media. If you do pitch her, it's really got to be like 500 to 800 words. I mean, my God, it's so incredibly rich. I could not have figured this out on my own. And then it goes into, here are the types of things that she's going to be interested in. Here are the things from the report that she's going to be interested in, and so on and so on. It does all of the deep research on every single person. It took 20 minutes to do all this while I'm doing something else. And then the next step is I'm going to literally have it write the pitch. So, okay, great. I'm going to look at it, and then, every single thing that, comes next is going to be personalized and customized to each one of these people. And then I'm going to use like an automation AI tool like, Relay to then hook up to my Google Sheets, hook up to my Gmail, and, be pulling in pitches into my Gmail or my Instantly or whatever, and like sending it off, right? That is amazing. And the sheer amount of conversion that's going to increase from Holly, Ellen, Andrea, Matthew, Kathy, from those people saying, oh my God, like this is perfect. I love this. Like, let's set up a time to talk. Let's go. It's just night and day, right? And you're going to see far more results for your clients doing something like this than the old way of PR. And so, yeah, this is kind of like revolutionary. I don't know how else to describe it. And this is one thing in my day. I do this for everything. I'm looking for like, how do I continue to integrate technology and AI to completely like, not only just like make things faster, but make things better. So you can see with an example like this, we're doing stuff that nobody else has done in a way that nobody else could do. I mean, sure, like, people might be doing it, but I can just tell you from working in agencies, they're slow moving. They have their processes. They have their quarterly meetings where they talk about big ideas. It's just like baloney. They're so slow. They're not doing this. So yeah, I want this kind of approach to come off, whether that's me talking about stuff like this in a video, whether it's, we've got some cool animations or a dedicated page talking about like how we're like an AI forward agency or AI hybrid agency. I don't know. There's just something there in the messaging that we have to sort of figure out. And again, I don't mean to derail everything you've done or to say, oh, you know, like I want the whole site to be about this. It's just something that I thought of as I was reading all of this. I think this is all great. You've captured everything I've told you. And I just had such an amazingly productive day, you know, and breaking through and doing things I've never done before, that I thought, let me just take a minute or 10 or whatever it is and just talk to you about what's working for us, and that we can somehow try to find a way to appropriately, you know, layer it in along with everything else you've done. Thanks for listening.